my name is Becca. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with my October TBR. I'm so excited. I want to read all the things, and I have some not really spooky but kind of spooky books on there just because it's October, so why not? I did get a promotion at work, which is exciting. So I may not be able to read everything that I want to, but I have so much I want to read. And I am hoping I'll be able to find the time to read all of it, because every book on my list to read this month is something that I want to read. Like, I just want to get to everything. In September, I did have quite a few books on there that I wanted to read, and I wasn't able to get to. One of those I did put off till October because I realized I really should just read it in October. So we'll get to that one later. But yeah, maybe I can read this whole month's TBR. It's not as ambitious as as I'm kind of used to. Like, October was crazy. I think I wanted to read 30 something and I ended up reading almost 30. That's not gonna happen again. But it's kind of ambitious if I can't find the time. But let's just get to the books. That's what I want to do. Let's just get to the books. Okay. So, it'd probably help if I had my iPad already up and going, waiting for this. The only book for October that I'll be reading for the book club that I'm part of, which is BDA, Books, Depression, Anxiety. I'm only reading one book this month for them. Normally, there's a main book for the book club and then like a mini book club, which is a horror side. And I'm not reading the horror book this month. That's The Institute by Stephen King, and I'm not a Stephen King fan. I've never really been interested in reading any of his books. I mean, I might have been for like a couple months, 1 year, and it never happened and didn't really feel anything. Like, I didn't feel bad that I didn't get to it, so I was okay. So I'm not reading that, but I am going to be reading the main book, the main book club book, which is Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. So it says the beacon of light was supposed to save me. There's a lighthouse on there. I guess it's like, you got the shape of a girl, you got the water, the waves, the lighthouse. I don't know what this book is about. I'm going in blind. I think there are like some trigger warnings and things, but for me personally, I don't look at trigger warnings because there are not a lot of things that trigger me. And I like to go into a lot of my books blind, and that is one of the ones I want to go in blind. So if that cover looks intriguing, if maybe you've heard of the author or anything like that, I do suggest to go into trigger warnings, or to go look at trigger warnings if that is what you feel you need to do. Or if you're like me and not a whole lot of stuff triggers you and you think you're going to be okay with anything that comes your way, then that's fine. But you do you. And I know a lot of people are triggered by a lot of things, and that is completely understandable. And so, yeah, you just need to do what you need to do. So for me personally, I won't be looking at trigger warnings. I won't be looking at the synopsis of that book, because again, I want to go into it blind, but I think it's possibly a sad, maybe dark romance. I don't know. I don't know, but I want to read it, and I kind of have to read it for the book club, but it is what I want to read. I just don't know why. Okay. I don't know if that made sense to you, but yeah, we are reading that book. And so then I did forget in my September TBR to talk about one book, which was Kingdom of Copper. Really should have read that in August. I got a review copy of River of Silver by S.A. Chakraborty in I got that months and months ago, but it comes out in October. I think it comes out October 11th, and it's the Tales of the David Bad trilogy, or yeah, Tales from the David Bad trilogy, or the David Bad world. Oh my god, I'm having a hard time thinking. So it's tales from that like world. I've heard there are minor spoilers, so I do technically have to read that whole trilogy before going into that. So I'm currently reading Kingdom of Copper at the moment. So if they are big books, this trilogy, like, they're I think over 600 pages. And I'm reading like 50 to 75 pages a day for that series, for that book. Be better if I could talk. Here, you know what? It'd also be really nice if I just brought the alright. Yeah, there it is. So here's the Kingdom of Copper. So that's the one I'm currently reading. And I am hoping to finish that by October 1st, which is Saturday. And today is Monday, the 26th. Yeah. So I have a few days to finish it. I will, with my today's pages, I'll be 500 pages in. So I should be able to, without a problem, get to it before October hits. But we'll see. We shall see. So yeah, it says here 625 pages. So I'm about 500 pages in. Though that's Hoopla pages. It's fine. I should still be able to finish it, no problem. So then for October, so I will be reading Empire of Gold in October, which it looks like this. So that's the final book in the David Bad trilogy. And that one, how much? That's 766 pages. So I will be reading that in October. But I won't be reading it right after Kingdom of Copper, because I've realized I can't read like big series or big books back to back. I need something in between them. So I read A Shadow in the Ember, or Shadow in Ember, or Shadow in the Ember. I think it was A Shadow in the Ember, by Jennifer Armentrout, in September. So I read that this month. And I read that before Kingdom of Copper. So what I'm going to do is, once Kingdom of Copper is finished, I have War of Two Queens to read. And actually, I'm really trying to get that from the library. And that should hopefully come in like the start of October, which would be great. So then, once that is done, once the War of Two Queens is finished, I will go into Empire of Gold. Which means I won't be able to read A River of Silver. So, here, I'll show you. Just in case you don't know. War of Two Queens is this one by Jennifer Armentrout. It's the final book in the Blood and Ash series, though Shadow in the Ember is the first book in the prequel series to that series. But you still want to read that one before going to War of Two Queens, apparently, from what I've heard. And that's why I did that. Also, I'm trying to read it in publication order, and The Shadow in the Ember came before the War of Two Queens, so yeah. And then The River of Silver, if I can hopefully get to it, will look like that. This one is only 256 pages. So honestly, I might read that right after Empire of Gold, because it's not a big book. And honestly, it is a book that I need to read for review. I thought about like maybe reading something right before River of Silver, but it'll be okay. I think I'm just gonna read River of Silver right after Empire of Gold. So sometime, possibly end of October, I'll get to that, which is well past the date it comes out, but hopefully I'll get to it within the month, and I'll be happy. I'm hoping. I didn't even look to see how big War of Two Queens is. I'm afraid that book is actually also pretty big. And I hate when it happens. Like, I'm really afraid that The War of Two Queens is probably going to be like 600 or something pages, which isn't that big, but it's 628 pages. It's not that big, but still. It's gonna take me at least a week and a half to finish that, probably, because again, I read like 50 to 75 pages a day for each of those books, because I don't want to read like a huge chunk of it. I like to take my time with the bigger books, and it helps me get through those faster for me. It actually helps them get me through it. So, but I also read a physical book and possibly another book. Like, sometimes I try to read at least 3 books while I'm doing something like that. So yeah. All right, so those are the books that I have to get to. So Doesn't Hurt for the book club. And then Empire of Gold has to get read, as well as River Silver, hopefully in October. So I'll be able to review River Silver. Oh shoot, I do have other... Oh yeah. I do have another review book. Here, I think it's called this. I think I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. So I have another book that I need to read for review. When does this come out? My god, this comes out in the beginning of October, and this is Just Like Magic by Sarah Hoggle. I have read one book by Sarah Hoggle before. I've read You Deserve Each Other, and I thought that was pretty funny, and I think I gave that 4 stars. Here, I'm gonna move you. But I also have Twice Shy. So none of these are connected in any way. It's not part of a series or anything like that. But this is Sarah Hoggle's second book, and I haven't read it. But I do have her third book I need to read for October. And this is about a woman who gets cut off. Apparently her family comes from money, and I think she gets cut off. She boasts about an extravagant lifestyle on social media, but the reality is she's broke and squatting in Colorado, and her family has no idea. Okay. Look, I don't really know much about what this book is about, and I don't know really what any of this is about, but I do know that Sarah Hoggle, her writing is, at least from her first book, was very humorous. I really enjoyed that. I like the banter between the main couple, so I'm hoping to love this and Just Like Magic. So yeah, I'll have to read this one as well, maybe, because I would like to get to this one also. So yeah, there's another book I'm adding to my TBR. But yeah, I don't know what this one's about either. So Can You Find Real Love When You've Always Got Your Head in the Clouds? And Love Speaks Louder Than Words. Like I said, I don't really like to go into books knowing too much. This was also on my September TBR, and I did not get to it. Oh no, this was on my August TBR, and I did not get to it. So I would like to get to this sometime this year. We'll see if I get to it before Just Like Magic or possibly after it. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, that was another book. 2 more books I had to add to my TBR that I forgot about. So, okay. Fun. Next up, we're just going to talk about all the books that I don't have physically, because I do have some physical books I would like to get to. Because I do like to have a physical book and an ebook going at all times. So I'm always reading at least 2 books, unless I can't read physically, then I'm just reading one. But yeah. Okay, so I would like to get to this book I said I wanted to read in September, but I really would like to read it in October, and that is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. I don't know why I put this for one of the roles for Bookopoly-thon, because it didn't work for that role, and for some reason I thought it did, and then I looked at it again and I was just like, what? No. So I ended up changing that, and it ended up working out. You'll find all that out in my wrap up. But I also realized that I really would like to read this in October, because it's about, like, I think summoning a demon, and it's a smutty monster kind of a romance, because he is a demon, and I think there's edge play possibly in this. So again, look for trigger warnings for this book. If that is something that you need to do, definitely do that. But I am just gonna go into this very blind, and I'm okay with that. All I know is that it's supposed to be a smutty book about a demon. I'm good with that, and it's almost like 500 pages, but I can't wait to read it. And then I also have I would also really like to read Hooked by Emily McIntyre, which is a Never After novel, and this series usually follows characters from, like, fairy tales or Disney movies, technically, I think. So I know that Hooked follows Hook and, I want to say, Wendy. Is it Hook and Wendy? Yes. Hook and Wendy. It's not fantasy. I'm pretty sure it's dark contemporary, like a dark romance, but it follows James Hook and Wendy. So, yeah. I'm really excited for that. Oh, and apparently Peter is Wendy's father. Okay. And James wants to destroy Peter, and he'll do that by using his daughter. Okay. Works for me. Apparently everybody loves that, so I'm really excited to get to it. I can't believe I've waited this long to read that. And then also, I would really love to read A Game of Fate, work for me, by Scarlett St. Clair. I read A Touch of Darkness, I think in August, and I freaking loved that book, and I was trying to get to A Game of Fate in September, and it didn't happen. But this is basically Hades' point of view of what happened in A Touch of Darkness. Which I've heard that I don't normally like reading books, which is basically like the same book, but from another person's point of view. I don't like reading that kind of a thing, but I've heard that A Game of Fate is very good, and it doesn't feel like you're reading the same book over again. But I also have left it, like, I gave it a month and a half, and possibly 2 months, because I don't know when I'm going to read A Game of Fate. So I'll probably have it like 2 months in between those books. So I am excited. I would really like to read A Game of Fate. I love Hades in the series. So we'll see how that goes. But that's a Hades and Persephone retelling. Dark, smutty, so good. Again, look for trigger warnings. Same thing with Hooked. With all of these books, if it's something that you need to do. And then also, I put this one on my list as well, because I've heard it's really, really good. And that's Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. So this is the same author of Does It Hurt? And that's why I kind of knew about Does It Hurt, because it was the same, like, because I remember, like, I recognize the author's name, but I've never actually read Haunting Adeline. I've just always been, like, meaning to. But so it's the first book in the cat and mouse duet, and I again don't know much about it. I just know that the main characters in there are hot, and it gets really smutty, really, like, really hot. I think there's oh my god, I think there's so my friend was telling me there's a scene where she gets choked, or at least, like, she's got something choking her while she's getting eaten, and I find that really, really hot. So yeah, I'm gonna read that. I'm really excited to read that, so it's going to happen. I'm just looking to see if I need... Oh yeah, there's 2 more books that I don't have physically, and then we'll go into my physical books. And then we'll be done with the TBR. So... I have been going back and forth on whether or not I want to read this, only because, I don't necessarily... I've not liked the author's previous works, but I love what this is, so, oh my god, okay. So it's Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. I absolutely, hold on, I have Pop Socket right here. So I absolutely love Sally. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't love Shay Earnshaw's writing, and I don't like her previous books, but I'm hoping that because I already know the source material and everything, I'll love this book. This is basically what happens, or like what takes place after the movie of Nightmare Before Christmas, like after the ending. We have Sally, she's the Pumpkin Queen, and what's going on with her and Jack? What's going on in Halloween Town? And I think they've even said that, you know, those other doors that take you to the other worlds, like you have Christmas Land and stuff like that, like, which we've seen in the movie, but maybe we'll see the other doors in this book, and I'm actually really excited for that. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm praying I like it, and I'm just really afraid I'm not going to, because I don't like the author's previous works, but we'll just see how it goes. Alright, I think lastly I have one more book that I don't have physically, and then I'm going back and forth. I have this from my library. I have this on Libby, and I keep renewing it because I really want to read it. And it's Stars of Fortune by Nora Roberts. It's the first book in the Guardians trilogy. And it says that Sasha is a reclusive artist. She's haunted by vivid dreams and nightmares that turn to extraordinary paintings. Desperate to understand her visions, she finds herself drawn to the Greek island of Corfu. She has only just arrived when she encounters Bran, an Irish magician with a warm charisma and secrets dancing in his eyes. Sasha has never met Bran before, but she knows him only too well, because this is the man from her dreams. This is why I want to read this book. I want to read this book so bad. I don't know why. I love Nora Roberts. I've read quite a few of her backlists before, and I've read all of her in-depth books that are out. I think one came out this month, so I have to read that. But I've read basically every book in the in-depth series because I love that series more than anything. And I've read a lot of her backlist books, but that one sounds so good, and I don't know why I've taken forever to read that. So I will definitely be reading that in October. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Alright, so that is all of the books on my Kindle and my Libby app and things. So for the physical books that I want to read, we have these 2. You can already tell, I think, what they are because of the spines. I mean, shit, these spines are gorgeous. I think I have the other 2 in another pile, and so this TBR is for the books that I haven't read, though I do have some of my Daphne Perry that I don't want to put in another pile. So, like, I've read all of these Daphne Perry. I would like to find more, but now she has all of her books on, oh no, I don't have that physically. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That just reminded me. I do want to read, something from Daphne Perry, and I don't have it physically because it's the next book in the series and I haven't gotten that yet. But it's The Lucky Heart by Daphne Perry. It's the 3rd book in the Jameson Valley series, and this one actually follows Felicity and Silas, who I met in the first book. Though I know Silas through the first 2 books, I only met Felicity in the first book, so I am excited for that. And the first 2 books in that series I have just read in September, which is the Coppersmith Farmhouse and the Clover Chapel. I actually just finished Clover Chapel last night, so yep. I just want to read Daphne Perry all the time. So, yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think, which one is the third book? Okay, this one. So the third book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series is Barbarian Lover. This is by Ruby Dixon. This one follows Aheko and I think one of the human women that didn't wake, or no, oh, this is Kira and Aheko. I call him Aheko. I don't know if that's right, but it's Aehako, but it's an alien name, so I don't know. But yeah, this one follows Kira. I remember Kira. I think she's the one with the implant, I think. But I'm excited for that one, and I love these covers so much. That's why I keep buying them. I've read these books before. I've read this whole series, but once I found out they were coming out with these like cover changes and everything, I had to get them. So yeah, this one, so the fourth book is Barbarian Mine. This one follows Harlow and Rook. Okay. That's all I really need to know. Just who they're following, and I'm good. But I loved the first two books. I'm excited to read the next two books. And yeah, they're on my TBR and they're gonna get read. They're just smutty alien, like blue alien novels. I'm here for it. I'm always here for it. Okay. And then let's see, I have this book right here. This one's by Katie Robert. It just came out. I had to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of the Court. Oh my god, I hate these stickers. Court of the Vampire Queen. This is 3 books in one. It's her vampire White Shoes series. And what is it? Oh, come on. Just tell me what the name of all these books are. So, Sacrifice, Heir, and Queen. There it is. Sacrifice, Heir, and Queen. So basically what the exclusive content is, by the way, also what I love about Katie Robert is that her trigger warnings are always right on the page. So like right when you open it up, she'll explain all the trigger warnings, so you don't have to go searching for those or anything, but it's always on her website as well. But I really love how this exclusive edition looks. So you got the characters. It looks so beautiful. I love these chapter headings, but also, so you'll see in these books you get like a little rose symbol, and in the back of the book are her annotations. So basically every time you see a rose symbol, you just go to the back of the book and you see what her annotation is for that point of the book, or that part. And I've read Sacrifice and Heir before. I'm gonna have to reread it because I want to. But I'm excited to see how it ends. I've now read Queen. I've been meaning to, but I haven't gotten to it. And Katie Robert is one of my favorite authors, so I will definitely be getting to this one this month. All right, I think the only other, I think the only other books that we need to talk about. So Love in the Brain, by Ali Hazelwood, which is Ali Hazelwood's second book. I'm gonna try and get to this in September. Again, I have a few days and I just finished my physical book. So this will be my next one and I'm hoping to get to it before October hits. But this is just another STEM scientist romance. B's theory was right. Forcing a scientist to work with her nemesis triggers explosive results. I am excited. It's like a hate to love kind of a romance, and I love that. But the book that I will be getting to in October, that I would like to, oh man, this one's kind of bent, is The American Roommate Exchange by Elena Armas. Sometimes love just needs a little inspiration. Rosie Graham has a problem, a few actually. She just quit her well-paid job to focus on her secret career as a romance writer, only to enter a creative slump. Then the ceiling for her New York apartment literally crumbles on her. She heads to her best friend Lena's empty apartment, not knowing that Lena has already lent the studio to her cousin Lucas, who Rosie has been stalking, for lack of a better word, on Instagram. To Rosie's surprise, Lucas offers to let her stay with him, at least until she can find some affordable temporary housing. Like, that's gonna happen anytime soon. Come on. So yeah. Elena Armas wrote The Spanish Love Deception, which I really enjoyed. And if I can see some Aaron Blackford in this, that would be freaking great. Also, I think Rosie is, I think she was a friend of our main character in the in Spanish Love Deception. I think. Oh wait, Lena was the heroine in the Spanish Love Deception. So yeah, Lucas is her cousin. Okay, all right. I'm really excited for this one. I can't wait to read it, so I will be reading that shortly. All right, that's it. That's all the books I want to read. That's a lot, I feel, but it's always a lot with me. It's okay. I like to read a lot, so it helps. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these books, please let me know down below and we can start a discussion, because I want to read all of them and I want to hear all of the things. If you didn't like these books, don't spoil anything, but just let me know. What are your thoughts? So again, thanks so much for watching. I will see you again shortly. Bye. Happy reading.